How can we hyperfocus? How can we get into such a flow state that we can ignore any distraction and focus on the work ahead of us? What is the exact routine that allows us to enter into a state of flow, the state of focus where you don't have the need to open your phone or to have something playing in the background? A state of being hyper-focused. Well, it starts with silence. Now, I believe that silence is one of the most important tools we have now, and I wish my talkative friend can learn a thing or two. I'm just kidding. Especially in this day and age of distractions and noise, allowing yourself to be detached from noises and distractions will help you reconnect with your emotions. Now, Dr. K says it best when noise and distractions are merely a way for us to run away from our emotions. Okay, not to sound emo or anything, but there's an actual psychological aspect to this. In modern times, we're just so conditioned now to consume as much stimuli as possible such that we don't have any time to process our own emotions. Imagine yourself as this empty glass of water, and throughout the day as we watch distractions, reels, TikToks, we fill our glass with water. But the thing about technology now, and especially applications trying to get our attention span, most of the time our glass is overflowing and we just don't have enough room to put work and our focus. In order to start working in a hyper-focused way and to put all of your focus into your work or studying in that matter, you will need to start processing your emotions, or on the other hand, you need to clear your glass water. And usually with a full glass of water, it means that you will have to process the entire glass in order for you to fully encompass focus for your work or for anything productive in that matter. Now, I'm not saying that you're unable to work at all with a full tank of emotions, but if you're distracted and if you really want to be focused on your work like hyper-focus level, you really need to have a clear mind. I think David Goggins also says it best when in order to really achieve a lot or to really move forward, you will really need to have an organized mind first. So how do we combat this? How do we combat being distracted? Well, in order to do that, we need to prep ourselves before working so that we will be focused and free from distractions. And the simple answer is to chuck your phone in the trash. Okay, maybe not to that extent, but try to sit somewhere in silence and absorb your thoughts, and do that for 10 minutes. For 10 minutes, just try and process what you're feeling and sit through the silence. So whatever you're feeling, whether it being anxiousness, nervousness, or plain overdosed in stimulus, or stimuli, I don't know why that sounds wrong, but anyway, try to slowly process your feelings. Ask yourself, why am I feeling this way? What is causing me to feel this way, and what are my priorities right now, and is it worth pursuing a specific distraction, or should I just do what I have to do for the day? Doing this will sort of help you process all the things that's been going on in your head, leaving you more room in your head and emotions to focus. And doing this will lessen the need for you to be hooked up to your phone or to have something playing in the background. Remember, most of our distractions are things we do in order for us to sort of suppress our emotions. And fun fact, this is actually a valid technique as well for people who have trouble with your sleep schedule. We tend to be overflowed with emotions and we tend to stow them away with distractions and such. The way I'm able to fix my sleep schedule is to actually, with many factors as well, but one of them is to meditate before sleeping, just to process all of the emotions that have been going through my head. That way, instead of lying down with lots of thoughts going in my head preventing me from sleeping, I can just simply let sleep take me away because I already know how I felt today, I already done the work, and it's like getting home from hunting. You're done, it's time to rest and recharge. So, after you're done clearing your mind, it's time to sit down and work, moving to the next step, which is to empty your environment. Throw your phone into the trash. I'm just kidding, please don't do that. But it's just that simple, which is to just clear your environment. If you have a mess on your table or if your room is a mess, go clean it up. Now, I want you to do this without having anything playing in the background, whether that be music or a video. Just like your meditation a while ago, try to do this in silence. The more simplified your environment is, the better, and bonus points if you can even go to a workspace to finish your work. Try to set your environment such that your environment works for you rather than against you. And you can do that by having your environment being simpler, the better. The more you remove reasons for you to be distracted from your work, the better. Set your environment to work with you versus against you, and you can just do that by clearing your environment. The more you remove reasons for you to track from your work, the more you'll be wanting to do your work. There's one episode in Black Mirror which I think is very dark, but it's also a very, very good illustration of how this works. This is just minor spoilers, nothing too major, but in the episode, there is a programmer designing smart home devices with an AI inside, such that it will learn your environment and it will tell you what to do without you really having to do anything. It's literally like having another you in the device. Now, at first, the AI trapped inside this empty egg is forced to do work, and you can see that the AI didn't want to do work at first. Now, the next part is really fucked up, but to solve this issue, and this is really fucked up, the programmer decided to subject the AI into months and months of nothing. Because the egg was empty and didn't have anything but a console for the work in the house that she had to do, after months and months of just time passing by in an instant, the AI begged the programmer that, okay, I will do whatever you want, just let me do something.
That is so fucked up.
And as much as that is so fucked up, that is also kind of true in a sense that if we have nothing better to do, we just gravitate to our work and we just do it. Now, obviously, this is an extreme example, but we can learn a thing or two about this applying to the real world. Obviously, it's bad to deprive yourself, but we can try and make anything else that we're doing in our day unappealing so that we can just focus on our work. And we did that at first with step 1 by processing our emotions and having time to pass by with nothing. And we can also do that by simplifying our environment. And finally, the last tip I have for you is to take meaningful breaks. The last thing I want is for us to break our focus just to go back to our distraction in the first place. Now, we can solve this by having a different style of break, which is to have a break that recharges us rather than suppressing our emotions. Go for a run or go for a walk. Go for a short food break. Go read a book. Do activities that does not warp you into a world of distractions or a suppression of emotions. Do something that fills you as a human being. Okay, that sounds wrong. Now, I'm not saying that using your phone is a horrible thing. I'm not saying that watching reels is a horrible thing. However, are we really going to say that doing those things actually recharges us? Because the thing is, a break is mainly to reduce stress and improve performance and to generally recharge us. If you just go back to our phones, we're just suppressing our emotions. Try to take your breaks without anything playing in the background. Listen to the noise of nature or the sounds of the city. Try to take in natural sounds rather than a quick charge of dopamine that our phones are giving us. Doing this keeps your dopamine levels at a sustainable level, and you are not building any sort of small emotional baggage that you will have to process later on in the day. Now again, I'm not here to say that using your phone or your tablet or playing any games of that kind is bad. In fact, I myself love playing games. I love playing video games with my friends, and I just love getting into the world of video games. I am a nerd. However, we are talking about hyperfocusing here in a way that we need to optimize our performance, and this video is also a video about having a meaningful life as well. Because when you finish meaningful work by having a meaningful focus session, you as a person will feel more accomplished. And that internally, or psychologically, helps you in the long run, as it can even help you sleep better and help you feel more whole as a person. I'm not telling you to cut out your social media completely. Even though I do think it's very beneficial, I'm not telling you to go to the extremes. What I am trying to tell you is that taking your life more meaningfully, one step at a time, will really benefit you in the long run, not only work-wise, but happiness as well. So, after watching this video, I hope you can take the time to think about your emotions and your life, and I hope you can achieve a meaningful life for yourself. Don't forget to drink your water, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!